Nobody stopped to say, hey, you coming to the meeting? I'm telling 4 people saw him and nobody bothered to stop.
Yeah. It would have been, I would have been by Terry, so. Then we wouldn't have been here. If I would have stopped Terry, we would have, we'd be up again on that accident.
He was sitting on his phone when I came by and texted.
Well, good, I sent him a text. Let's see. We're live on YouTube. Hi, everybody. I'm getting bigger screens. Well, it'll be there. And one will be there. We won't have the little one anymore. I'm spending our CARES Act money, let me tell you. Technology. We are very limited on what we can spend it on. I'll go in more detail on that later. No, we have $95,000 we're getting. Mm-hmm. I am finding things, let me tell you. Yes, I change them out every meeting.
Wow. I don't see a little light in the corner that radiates everybody.
Yeah, I'm working on that. All right, so this isn't working. Oh, I gotta hit record. Record on this computer.
Yeah.
We're putting in our HVAC system. I don't know if they work or not, but we're gonna.
What are you putting in there?
The UV light, I don't know, I just researched it yesterday. It costs about $30,000 to put them in that work.
Send the information. Is that something like I sent you that one time?
Well, this is to kill germs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will you send that to me?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Another place.
PPE, protect my police officers. Protect me from them.
I like it. It's a good idea.
Well, hey, whatever we can, it's, or the county wants it back to give for grants for businesses in Denton, and we want to help our businesses. All right. What was? Flock. Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we on?
We are on.
Well, let's do this. At 6:03, I will call the July 15th meeting of the Bartonville Community Development Corporation to order. First item of business is called to order. Second item, public participation.
Does anybody need a pen?
I will take one.
And then you get to keep it.
Oh, wait, because it's been sterilized?
And I bought 10,000 pens. We have so many officers write a ticket, they give them a pen, and they get to keep it, and then when they come to court, well, now courts aren't gonna open for, I guess they're saying another 24 months.
Oh my God. Wow. Really?
Yeah, so it's all gonna be Zoom, they're trying to, courts are like being way more protective over anything, it's crazy. All right, I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. No input for public participation.
There's nobody signed up online to speak.
Okay, so item 1 on the agenda is consider approval of the June 10th, 2020 meeting minutes. And
Hi, there's one right there if you want one, or if you don't want one. In the box. Up to you.
Second.
Okay. Item 2, discussion on marketing programs for Bartonville businesses. And I will turn the floor over to the secretary.
All righty, let me. Hi, disregard my text.
Welcome to the board.
Jim.
You don't want to know what my day.
Did you stop and talk to Dwayne on the way? Did you get him here?
Is that him out there?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Every one of you.
No, actually, I did not forget. I had to go get Anne Marie's car and have it towed. It's a quick car.
Okay.
She went to the doctor's appointment, which was tomorrow, not today. And she hit the side of the road on the way there, broke the tire.
Don't let her drive anymore. All right, back on our Marketing programs for Bartonville businesses. So when the pandemic first broke out, we did signs. They were all very appreciative. Just so you know, part of that $90,000, the board's we're gonna get that money back. As part of that grant money, anything that we spent, we get that back. So we can use that money back to fund back. So if we end up where we can't spend it all, I'm gonna direct those. And we spent approximately $7,000 on those signs. But the thing is, I don't know if there's ideas that you can come up with. I reach out to the businesses, what other types of services, continue advertising for them, not only just for the restaurants. There was another flyer. Excuse me for a moment, let me go get it.
Is there a pause button?
Probably not. Does it mean?
Yes, push the button.
I tried to log on to
Okay.
that seminar there, whatever you want to call it, at 1 o'clock. wasn't it?
Yes,
And I couldn't, we had trouble with work, so it wasn't anything there, but I didn't know if anybody else watched.
oh, I don't know. I just, when I get those from my tally, I just forward them to everybody and you're on my list. So I just let you know that
Okay.
when they send me information for our businesses, I forward it out to all of our businesses that I have. I'll continue to do so.
Not their fault.
This is from Murray Media, but that was Argyle, so I got that in the mail. And I thought, well, that's another kind of, it was a promotional thing for, visit Argyle, these are businesses, another kind of promotional thing. Since, we still have marketing money, those types, what other, I know we want to continue to promote our businesses, help our businesses. I do want to let you know that our sales tax through this pandemic is still up. So our sales tax for this, for our sales tax, you cannot minimize while this meeting's recording. Okay, so our sales tax this time last year, it's just,
Last year we didn't have Sean. I don't know how much there could be. I know you can't tell us any detail on that.
they all,
Everybody.
no, the liquor stores. After the meeting, I can explain, I'll share some information with you. On the sales tax, let's see if I can get to it from this real quick. Here we go. Not available. Come on. No, it's not letting me connect. So our sales tax for July was $70,000 compared to this time last year. I think it was at 62. So, and for July, that is May's sales tax. So our percentages of last month was like 11%. I think it's still every month where a lot of the cities are going down. And I don't know if it's because we're small and that we don't have as many, we don't rely on our sales tax as heavily as Denton, Flower Mound, a lot of the other cities where they have so much businesses. I don't know what the analytical answer is for that, but I just know that.
Over has to be way out. And their number card is over.
Corporate's always crap.
Yeah, so they've got to be way out.
So,
And they're selling more than just groceries. of course, and
yeah,
tax.
and we have Tractor Supply this year, where we didn't have Tractor Supply last year. And so I distribute some of that. But again, as far as marketing going, if there's any ideas, if you want me to, explore ways, if there's other ways, there's another, when we get to talking, and again, I don't know if we could just open up all the items and talk about everything because they'll all kind of relate to each other. In where we lost Alora, there's another firm that I'm going to ask you to talk about tonight that you guys contract with, and maybe get some ideas from them as well as what we can do for marketing and help our businesses. You know, Max is always calling, do you want to take out an ad in the Cross Timbers Gazette? Murray Media's got the advertising. Another thing is I could send something out to the businesses. Hey, how are some ways that we can help you? But again, I don't want to do individually, but as collectively as a town, such as these kind of flyers, marketing Bartonville's open for business. Here's our businesses, like we've done with the restaurants and everything. If you want me to continue on that trail, I'll keep doing it.
I don't know, I think it seems like we should, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea there. Anything to help at this point.
Even if they want more signs or if they want to do flags, you know, they have the tall flags. If there's another way to bring more attention to them, then what, you know, maybe we could do a flag program or something.
Is social media an option, or is it too specific to each?
I don't know. I can look at for, that might be more specific to the businesses rather than to Bartonville. Other than if you use the Cross Timbers Gazette or, I don't know if there's something on Facebook. I don't know how that aspect of it works. But that's something that when we have a consultant that we can ask them for that aspect of it. Mhm. I myself can't answer that question.
Because I think Facebook and Google now are about 50% of the spend for most media corporations.
But we'll continue on that track. But just on the marketing that we did, those monies could be coming back to us, but we still have, you know, There's
You
still-
guys use, social media?
My son's claim to Facebook is for.
It's a secret for.
Yeah, well, it is, yeah. But I don't know if that's true or not. That's their assessment. They don't use Facebook. Interesting to find out.
I don't get on.
I don't have
Oh, I love that this screen doesn't share, but that's still. All right, where's our screen on here now? I'm back. Where's Zoom? Uh-oh. What did I do?
Zoom is not Zoom.
Zoom is, well, it is. I've got, it's still showing the world that this room is on here, but this screen isn't showing up there, which is fine. We don't need it because nobody's called in, so we're good unless somebody calls in. You can't minimize. We've had meetings, so many meetings. Why isn't this? Oh, there we go. Oh, there we are. We can see ourselves now. So those types of programs that we did, the signs, any kind of signage or other things, we keep exploring those. If you have any ideas, send them to me. Again,
We've done a deal where we gave businesses an amount of money that they could use for, bring this in for a chance at blah, blah, blah. I don't know, something to motivate, because people see these, like, you get this in the mail and you look at it, it's just a little more like if you bring this in for a 10%.
well, there was one that Lake Worth did, and it was like a scavenger hunt. And so whatever businesses that you get in to participate, if you could get them to donate something, so then they have to go to the business and get it stamped. Or again, I don't know how with people with social distancing right now, or if you shop, or if you provide so many receipts, or if there's some creative way to do that, to encourage people to go to the businesses to get something.
That's interesting. Because
Yep.
people will react more if you've got a 5% or 10% discount.
It doesn't have to be big, but are we allowed to fund things
I
like
don't
that?
know.
I don't think we give it, well, there was one city that I saw that did some kind of coupon, and that whatever if you did this, it gave you $10 off the business, or it gave you a coupon or something. And I'll look into those programs too as time permits.
Yeah, I think that's.
Um,
Just a little bit.
So it's us funding that discount instead of the business funding the discount to get, and I remember what the city, whatever it was I don't know if it was the Colony or a little, somebody, and it was like, if you did it and you had to show that you were that city's resident and that you did it, then for that purchase, then the BCDC, it was like a coupon, and the money came from their economic board to the city. So it was like a coupon. So it didn't affect the city, but you got the discount.
You know, you could do something as simple as buy a bunch of Yeti cups with Bartonville seal on them, and then give the business, each business 50 of them. And then this thing says, come in and, you know, while supplies last, get a free Yeti cup. I don't know.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Something like that, I think is worthwhile, because it's incentivizes rather than it's just, look at it. And
Yeah,
bring
people-
it up, forgot.
Now, the thing is, are they just gonna walk in and say, I want my Yeti cup?
You got first minimum purchase of
Yeah.
$5,000.
one per family.
Yeah, one for them.
Okay, that's a good. And if there's something that I'll lean on you guys, if you can find something like that or send me wording or give me ideas to help me out, I'd appreciate it. Because Sylvia, I would say, yeah, I'll go do that and love to, but our plates are overrunning right now.
I've never seen one, but you can probably find it.
Yep. And if you can find something like that and send it to me, I would love that. And if it's something similar, hey, something like this, Tammy, or something like that, and then we can look into it and then it's promoting, so we can pay for the cups because it's promoting Bartonville and it's helping the business promote their business. Okay. All right.
Any more discussion on marketing programs?
You said you're gonna have somebody come in and talk to us, another group.
Well, we'll talk can you open 3 and 4 together?
So, if there's no further discussion on item number 2, we'll combine items 3 and 4, discussion on the fiscal year 2021 annual plan, and discussion of the fiscal year 2021.
So what I've given you are the current year's plan and budget. And so with this, I haven't done anything with this, looking for next year, because again, we've had so much, and I'm again, not sure how much we can do for next year because we just don't know what to predict for the annual plan. I think one of the things is looking at just helping our business survive through this pandemic, figure out what we're gonna do. We had a Laura here that one night and we were gonna do a contract with her, and of course, you know, she's fell off the face of this earth. There's another company that some of the cities that were gonna use Laura that they're using, and they're based out of, the gentleman lives in Keller, and now I can't remember the name of his company. Sent us a quote, and he said probably about $20,000. I'd like to start the contract this year, maybe pay for part of it out of this year and some out of next year. One of the things is I'm going to send him the information that we were sent that when we sat down and talked with Laura, but that was pre-COVID. And so some of the things is marketing. How can we help our businesses in what's going on now? Another thing that I think is a good use of having a consultant is the 380 agreement between the town and Newquest. In conjunction with that is a development agreement. So there were 2 agreements with that development agreement kicked in when they started turning dirt on, when they started turning dirt on the property. That development agreement gave all the permitting to the Denton County Freshwater District. It took it away from us. And it lasted for X amount of years. It expires in 2021.
Wow.
They're not done. They're not going to be done building in 2021. And I'm like, what happens? Last year, I'm like, they're not going to be done. What's going to happen when that development agreement expires? Do they fall, because that development agreement, they fall under Denton County's building regulations, all the permitting goes through the Denton County Freshwater District. When that goes away, do they fall back under ours? Do we do the permit? How are we going to handle that? Does NewQuest want that? Does that now bring in us a good opportunity now to maybe try to renegotiate that 380 agreement? So having this company, and when I talked to Aaron about it, he goes, oh, I've heard about that agreement. It's like they've all heard about our wonderful 380 agreement. So as part of that, I said, well, if we hire you, that's one of the things we want you to look at, that development agreement. We want you to research it, help us figure out what we need to do, what does it say, help us figure out what we should do. Do you think there's opportunities to renegotiate the 380 with NewQuest? And also, we haven't had any support from NewQuest to get the rest of the pad sites built. You've worked with NewQuest, you know JCers. How can you help us see, to get the rest of those pad sites developed? That's what we'd like to use you for. And he's like, all right, I'm in. So that's something that if we can get a consultant in to help us do that. If you're on board with that, then I'll have them bring his agreement forward and we'll budget for that.
Is that in conjunction with legal?
We have legal fees and he knows Jeff, so we'll work together with Jeff and then our attorney to look. Yes. And so with having him as our consultant and having Jeff as the attorney, and then he can look at things, we can have meetings, we can authorize him to work with Jeff and to look at things and figure and see what the best thing is for the town with both those agreements. Because getting even the permitting part, if it comes back to us, that's revenue. Well, the town doesn't, well, we do, make money, but for permitting, and off the building permits and things for that, off those sites and things of that nature. But it'd be really nice to get that one corner developed that's not considered part of the agreement. That would be.
They put signs up
Hmm?
on it. They put signs up on it.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah,
On that
they put
corner?
signs up for weeks.
Okay.
So they're marketing. something.
Okay. So I'll work that in the budget and maybe put something in the plan. So this is just, we'll have another meeting and I'll try to, if there's any ideas. So I just printed this out so you can look through our current plan. And if you have any ideas for next year, send me an email. There's really not a lot to update. We'll put in some things in here that we accomplished, but there's a couple of things also that I need for the consultant to do and to help with. And I'm going to send to Jeff, like the performance agreements. I know that there's some that haven't followed through with what they were supposed to do that we gave money to, that we need to contact. And I'll send those agreements to Jeff and say what's going on, because Cloud9 being one of them, there's nothing when we give them half their money and we've heard no communication, nothing, and they were supposed to have broke ground. And so.
Same thing, I'm looking at the budget, you dropped it. 20.
Oh, I haven't put any numbers in there. So this is the current year's budget. I didn't even propose anything for next year. But what I wanted to do is on the second page and the third page. And I meant to try to do a proposed budget for you, but if we can schedule another meeting in a couple of weeks, I can put something together for you. I just wanted to start talking about it. Pardon me?
This has to be done by the end of September.
We typically get it done July and August, so the council can prove it at their August meeting, or we have like their annual meeting and they approve everything at their September meeting. So we can approve everything at August. So we don't have to have another meeting in between, but I can put some numbers together. But I wanted to go through the budget where we currently are and look at some things and say, we budget for the stuff, but we've never used it. So maybe take out some of those line items, because I don't think we're really going to use it. Our current sales tax revenue. So year-to-date actual, we've brought in 113,000. Our budget is 130,000. And this is through June.
And that's all we have to do.
Yes. And I'm estimating that Yeah, we got 113. We'll probably get about another 30, probably another $40,000 in at least. So we'll surpass our budget. Even, and that's being conservative. I think we'll hit over $130,000 for this fiscal year. Our interest rate, which, do they have that interest earn is,
Help me remember. Was part of the year 0.5% or was it all 1%?
pardon me?
Was part of the year the sales tax revenue 0.5% or was it always?
This current, yeah, it's a quarter percent, yeah.
It's not in the step.
No, this year it's all quarter. It's been the last 2 years. Sale, the interest earned, that will be cut in half because the interest is, all of our interest is just going away by the, it's. Yeah, so the interest, so that will go down. And what we've done with the town's budget is we're gonna budget the same as we did this year. We're not gonna budget any increases. We're just gonna stay pretty conservative and just go with what we budgeted this current year, even though our revenues increased with Tractor Supply, just because we don't know what's happening with COVID. A lot of cities are budgeting 3 to 5% less for the first half of the year, and then they're going to reevaluate and, you know, look what's going on with the rest of the half. But we feel pretty confident, just stick with kind of what we budgeted this year, even though we're going to exceed budget, stay with what we budgeted and not anticipate more revenue. Again, with the pandemic, not knowing. So we just thought we're just going to come back with a budget with those amounts. On the third page, this is what year-to-date actual, and on the budget remaining, so Michael didn't do the transfer over yet. So you budget $5,000 for salary that goes over to the town. It goes into the town's general fund. So that still needs to be transferred over into the town's general fund. The computer software, so you pay $500 towards, it was $539. You pay part of the town's website, or for part of your page for the website. Consulting fees, so that was Gray Glass, we budgeted $15,000. I think we'll bump that up next year to 20,000, but if we can get the consultants to come in this year, then that'll save us. So we'll use part of this year's budget and then next year. And if we need them longer or do a month-to-month basis, then we'll have that funding there for him. The copier and supplies, I never use it. So I think we can get rid of that line item, or I can take it down to 500. I just haven't charged anything to that line item unless I need to start. I might start.
We do some of these things like
Printing, marketing. The dues and subscriptions, actually, the professional development, that was our Texas Economic Development dues, got coded to the wrong item. So down in professional development, it says a -300. That's actually needs to go up where the dues and prescriptions are. We got to do journal entry. So the budget remaining on that one should actually be $700. That's the Texas Economic Development Council. And then we pay annual dues of $300. And then Jim and I alternate every 2 years to take our sales tax training that's mandated by state law. Woohoo. It's lots of fun, isn't it, Jim? Grant expenses, year to date, we've given out $35,000. And so there's 115,000 remaining in that. Marketing, we budgeted 9,000. We've spent $7,200. And that was mostly on the signs and the advertising, the flyers, the mailers that we did. Yes.
Yeah. We had 3 of them going at once.
Yeah, 3 of them came in and applied. So we budget that because you don't know how many may come in and ask. Yep. Legal, that will probably use more of that if we get to do some of the, for next year. But it's always just good to have as a base, and there'll be probably more legal because I've sent Jeff some stuff on the CARES funding and what kind of programs that we can fund. So with the $95,000 that the town is getting, there's the way the CARES Act reads is that you can do grants, small business grants. So, yes, and so I need some guys, I want some guidelines on that. So we can,
That would be one.
the $95,000 can go for PPE equipment, telecommunications, so we're upgrading it. So we're anything for this, for the meetings. So we can do social distancing. We're going to upgrade, we're going to get bigger monitors. So if for people in here that we can, instead of having that little one, each on the side. So for the people that are here, so when people call in, have a better, they can hear better, getting a little bit more equipment to connect. So the audio is a little bit better for the end user. Upgrading it so we each have a laptop to take home in case I get stuck working at home again. I'm not using my own computer. I'm remoting in with the laptop, making sure that our server and our firewall, that we can VPN instead of using the go-to login. So we have a secure VPN to connect to, those types of things that we didn't have before. Anything that's not in our current budget that we spent March 1st through December 31st. So they're very specific on those types of things. So social distancing, commuting, and the technology for these kind of things, all of the sanitation, sanitary, disinfecting supplies. We're doing, got a lot of stuff for court. We got even little plastic things that we sit on the table to protect the judge. Bought all these, and then the OCA keeps giving out more directions for the courts. They just want to, they're just afraid that the defendants are going to sue the heck out of courts. I don't know. It's crazy. Yep, I think that's probably it. So we're, with all of those expenses, then it's like, well, what's left over? Because you can't buy it. You can't use it to buy anything that's not related to COVID. And the other part of it was to fund small business grants to those businesses that were affected. And so I've asked Jeff and the town attorney, give me some better explanation. So when we send our budget to the county, that if we set $40,000 aside on that, what kind of program can we set up to say, hey, businesses, we have this grant, and that, like we talked about last month kind of thing, up to $1,000 for each business that was affected, or 2,000, I don't know what kind of guidelines, because it's a grant. It's not a loan. It's not something that we can give back, but it's to help them. And instead of Denton County doing their business grant for, we're not knowing that our businesses are getting it. This way we're assured our small businesses. So I asked them, what defines a small business and what guidelines do we need? So hopefully I'll have that answer within that week, but that money, part of that money is we get to use it for that. So we'll still put money in, we'll have that, but then we can still have money in our grants. We'll put $150,000 in there in case anybody, who knows, we might need some incentives to get somebody to come here. There's businesses still opening. It's happening. So I don't know, as far as we did the Old Town maintenance and repairs. That's the horses, the electrical panel. We've had issues with that. It's the landscaper, the water well, it says the water well is not working. The water well comes out and he said the fuses aren't working. They're messed up. So we replaced the whole panel and had a lock put on it. So now it's locked. We got a new panel. So that can't be the excuse anymore, because we've had repair after repair after repair. So hopefully that'll work. And we're also going to go out, I think, for bid for landscaping companies. And again, another option we were discussing is the maintenance of the FM 407 medians to make them look nicer, attract for our businesses. Probably can't do any projects as far as building and adding on to that, but for the landscaping and mowing, I think we can get away with doing that maintenance
Which medians does that involve? The one,
The medians from our town limits. So it's like at the Pittner property in front of Tractor Supply, all the way up to Wolf
all the
Run.
way up. And, but,
And we alternate, we take turns with Lantana. So TxDOT is supposed to maintain the median. And they'll come out and do it once a year.
so that, is that part of the,
We've not budgeted for that before, so that's something I want to add to the budget.
do we usually spend the 35,000 that we have in their budget? We're 18 now.
On our maintenance and repairs, you look at,
Would that be part of that? So that would be-
we will bump that line item up. And that's why I was looking at if we take away some of these like copier expense and a couple of these will go and just it'll.
We'll have our, we've got quotes on before we-
And the traffic study, it went up this year. We added some more spots. I don't know if that was the reason if Greg's cost went up. But we budget for the traffic study every year. We budgeted 3,000 this year. It cost us $4,600. That's it. I mean, this budget's pretty simple. Again, we can budget we can still do marketing. We budget the percentage. The state allows you to budget 10% of your budget to marketing. And then whatever you don't spend, you can keep that into a restricted fund for future years.
No question, is there gonna be another Marty show up, or Kim or somebody wants to do something?
Well, the marketing isn't for them
No, no, no,
specifically. The marketing is for us.
From the total budget standpoint, it's driven by another contract.
Oh.
If we find that if a couple people come in and want to use the money, and we brought up their position, obviously, it didn't happen. Didn't happen what we thought it was
Who knows? What do you think, Doug? You never know.
gonna happen. Well, Marty just opened at 1845. I think, on Lakeside.
Is it open now?
Yes.
Heard of it, so I'd
Anybody
like
been
to-
there yet?
My neighbors went and said it was really good.
Crazy, crazy time to open a new restaurant.
Seems like it is.
Well, the night that he came in here, when he was not happy with the council, he said he had just hired 15 employees. And I was like, the state just cut you from 75 to 50, but okay.
Higher?
Yes, is what he said.
Well, he has, before COVID, I talked to him over there one day, he had 199 on payroll at Marty's before COVID, so I don't know what's happened since.
I don't know. But so I'll make those adjustments. And then again, if you have any ideas for the annual plan and some of those, I love the idea about like getting the cups and sending those to businesses. Then I can put that together. I just hadn't had, I always throw something together without talking to you first so that we get your input and I can get those together. I don't know if I've talked to you since the horses got their revamping and are brown now instead of black. They look beautiful. They look really nice. So
You have any better lighting on at night?
that is something else that we need to do,
Yeah.
is to get better lighting. Let me make a note of that.
You really can't see them with the lighting camera right now.
That's what
I don't know if there's anything else that you guys have any questions on or anything.
So we are gonna bring that other guy.
Mhm. If you're okay with that, just wanted to,
Absolutely.
okay.
Okay, if there's no further,
He would have been here or has sent, or it's been Zoomed, but his wife was scheduled to have their third child on Tuesday. So I said, well, it's all right. Well, it's very weak, isn't it? Oh, that was yesterday. So I'll send him congratulations.
No.
That's right.
with no further discussions on items 3 and 4, we'll move on to future agenda items. We talked about a little
I want to get some questions, yeah.
I've talked to him, but
If there's anything new that. Nothing that goes through these things.
do you want an update or do you want,
Are you thinking maybe something with this COVID has changed?
I hope there's nothing that's come out in any,
You see some lift down there. We never see it, so.
we're tiny little minnows in his.
Yeah, we're not even down there. Nebraska furniture market is probably over $1 billion now.
That shields, man,
Oh, that would be good.
You been in that?
No.
Oh, no.
It's not a picture.
That's like a cross between a huge Bass Pro Shop and a Nebraska furniture
and
market.
Dick's Sporting Goods.
And a Dick's Sporting Goods, like, that thing is massive.
I went in there to look for bikes because they sell Treks. They were out except for the electric ones, which started at $2,500 for the electric bike.
It's almost overpowering.
Yeah, the place
It's so big.
Yeah, it's like the Nebraska Furniture Market to me. I have to be sidetracked.
Where's it located?
Out by Nebraska Furniture Market.
Just past Nebraska Furniture Market.
It'll be another huge sales tax. That's what we call it. All part of that Nebraska furniture market. Good luck.
Which wins the award for the most confusing roads? I don't know what engineering, how that was gonna be, work, like, good Lord. Yeah, I gotta have a map every time, I still have to, I've been there 4 or 5 times. I still have to do that.
Just come back around.
Oh, okay.
Any additional future agenda items? With nothing on item B, we can adjourn the July 15th meeting of the Barnstable Community Development Corporation at 6:42 p.m. And thank you all very much.